You think there needs to? I think the angle needs to be a little bit more that way.
The Beach Boys have continued to do we did about 180 performances last year. I'd like to see the mop tops match that. I'd like to see Mick Jagger get out on the stage and do I Get Around versus Jumpin' Jack Flash any day now.
Sky's turning gray.
Now a lot of people are gonna go out of this room tonight thinking that Mike Love is crazy. Well, they've been saying that for years.
She's my little rock and roll.
I know Mick Jagger won't be here tonight. He's gonna have to stay in England. But I'd like to see us in the Coliseum and he in Wembley Stadium because he's always been chicken shit to get on stage with the Beach Boys.
To the source, gentle force, never ending, never ending.
As far as the future with this show is concerned, I don't know if there is a future with this show. I just keep going. I just keep going as I go along. I just cannot do another episode. I feel like we have to keep making the episodes. Maybe it'll find its own voice. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that like this show find its own voice and like can create some sort of like steady viewership where people actually tune in to actually watch it. I actually have one guy who actually watches all my episodes. He's a client of my mom's and he really enjoys he watched every single episode. And he's pretty cool. He's a doctor. Like, yeah, a doctor found me interesting enough to watch it. I feel really self-conscious about that too now I think about it. I'm glad I do these shows. I feel like me progressing in life and me like talking about music, it just shows that other people can do it too. And maybe other people are like, they feel like me, like, you know, like I'm powering through talking on camera. Like it's a really awkward feeling to talk on camera where everybody can see it. And then you're talking about yourself because you just don't know. Like, I don't even want to say on camera what I think people might think of me. Cause like that, I don't want to bring it out into the universe, but like, I don't know what people think of me when they watch these episodes. So episode 18, we've done 18 episodes and I don't really have too much to talk about. This is weird. Maybe I seem a little bit down. I'm not down. I've just been going through a lot lately. Just trying to keep it together. Today I wanted to talk about the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones collection that I have. Let's go through the Beach Boys. So recently I don't know how interesting this is, but like, you know, people tune in. Like I love music, so let's just talk about it. For me, there's two bands that like are very important to me, and that's the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones kind of crossed over into English market, in my opinion. They were the first. They really got the vibe down. They understood it. They didn't fake it. They were really like rock and roll. Like in my opinion, rock and roll is American rock and roll. Rock and roll comes from America. England took rock and roll and made it kind of their own, but it's not real rock and roll unless it comes from America. In my opinion, the Stones are one of those bands that crossed over, that made it rock and roll. They really made rock and roll. And so I can't say that it's not impossible for English bands to create real rock and roll. It's just very rare for me to say like that's real rock and roll. I mean, I love Queen, but would I consider that real rock and roll? There's something a little bit too much flavor to it for it to be real rock and roll. I feel like real rock and roll is a little bit more simple than that. And then metal, Ozzy created metal. That's the thing you have to give the English. Ozzy created metal. And then metal came back to rock and roll, and now we have a new genre. We had like it came back, like it kind of mixed together. I really like the old school stuff. That's my problem. Is like I'm really into old school stuff. I stay tuned away from new music because I just like listening to oldies. I think that's just where it is. A little introduction to the Beach Boys. My relationship with the Beach Boys. I really got into the Beach Boys when I got into mixing. I went to school at MI, Musicians Institute, and I was taught by Tony Smalios, who was Biggie Smalls and Tupac's mixing mastering engineer. And he taught me how to mix and master. He had taught me how to listen to a mix. And when I got into the Beach Boys, that was the perfect time. That's why it's so important to have records. because records are the only way to actually listen to a real original mix of a song. Now Spotify is great, but they keep updating the version, and now you don't even know what is the original version of that song. If you actually listen to the records, you can actually have the original versions to these songs, which is why collecting records is so important to me. And the Beach Boys, like, that's why I don't have that big of a Beach Boy collection, but it's pretty solid in my opinion. Let's go through some of these. Beach Boys. Doesn't even have a title. What is the title of this record? It is a compilation. I have a lot to say about these records. I don't know if I have a lot to say about these records, but they are important to me. Surfing Safari by the Beach Boys. This is a compilation, which is cool, but this is an original compilation, which has some more original recordings of these songs that are very popular. Which is what I'm saying is, like, you get these versions of these songs from, like, that you love, but you're not listening to the original version. It's like completely different, and the way it's mixed does not compare. The way it's mixed does not compare to the way that Brian Wilson and, like, those producers mixed those records. The way they mixed those records were incredible. This is a great album. This is a great album. All Summer Long. It's funny that they're responsible for, like, starting surf rock, but surfers don't like them. Surfers didn't like them. Yeah, they did. They liked Dick Dale and, like, music without lyrics. They liked music without lyrics a lot. Surf rock. Dennis is the only one who surfed. This is a great record. It has so many good songs on it. It has I Get Around, All Summer Long, Little Honda. Try to find them. That's the hard part. That's why I don't have as many Beach Boys records as I do Rolling Stones records. But they're both hard to find. Beach Boys are, like, extremely hard to find in good condition. This is a great record. Has Surfer Girl on it and Catch a Wave. Starts off real strong. Now this record is very special. Oh shit. A friend of mine gave me this record. He believed that he was passing away, and he still hasn't passed away. But he believed he was passing away, and he wanted to give me this record. He has, like, this phobia about his health, that he keeps thinking he's getting sick, but he's not sick. It's really weird. But I don't want to talk about him too much because that's not fair. This Beach Boys record is really cool because it's actually the final mix that Brian Wilson produced. And it says it's monochronically, but it's stereophonically. It's stereo, not mono. There was a misprint here. So this is a pretty cool record. There's a lot of different versions in the Beach Boys. That's why it's kind of important to have records. That's the way you hear them. If you want to hear them on Spotify, they have the updated and remixed versions of it. You don't get the original, and you don't know how it sounds. It's an experience to listen to these on vinyl. Brian Wilson was he was a genius. The guy seriously had some sort of mental issues. He had a lot of mental issues, but that comes with genius. Like, people who are genius have a lot of mental issues, and they're just super smart, and they think too much. I have a lot of the same issues. Not trying to compare myself to Brian Wilson, but I did watch his movie, and I felt his pain. Love and Mercy. There's this movie called Love and Mercy. It's about his relationship that he had with his doctor, who was giving him too much medication, or, like, messing with his meds and taking advantage of, like, his power of attorney. The guy gave his doctor power of attorney, which is, like, crazy. But Brian Wilson lost control of his life for a while, and I lost control of my life for a while. I'm finally on track. I'm doing really well, and that's kind of like some of the, like, kind of why I'm feeling kind of low. I don't know how to feel about doing so well. Like, I feel like I keep, like, finding ways to mess up my progress. Addiction is really hard, and I've been dealing with alcoholism like crazy. I've been clean off meth for years, but alcoholism has been, like, creeping on me. I drink every once in a while, and, like, I find myself still drinking. Yeah, I made a promise that I kept that promise that I wasn't gonna drink until my next episode, and I didn't. I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna do the same. I'm not gonna drink again until my next episode, at least, because it's not really there's no real benefit from it, and you feel a lot better when you don't drink. Yeah, let's move on to the Rolling Stones. Oh shit, this is heavy. The Beach Boys would be my all-time favorite band if I could say, like, my all-time favorite band, but I don't really have an all-time favorite band. But the Rolling Stones were a very close second, and they're not American, which is weird. Like, cause like most of my bands, like Korn, most of my favorite bands are American rock bands. It's not. I'm just a little bit biased about it. I just feel like real rock and roll is American because rock and roll came from America. Like, it's just tradition. The zipper works on it and everything. It's pretty cool. Sticky fingers, and it comes with the print from Andy Warhol. I've used it before. It's in perfect condition. This was so controversial. Andy Warhol created this cover too, with all the faces in it. But like, as far as like genius, I kind of tuned out after. I kind of tuned out after Some Girls Too. This was a limited edition record. It's like a little like. It's weird. It's kind of like an introduction to like them. But Decca came out with it. But there's not very many of them. I bought this collection off an old man who was like one of their number one fans, and he had been in the fan club since the beginning of the Rolling Stones career. He had their pins and everything, and he was going through a lot of crisis at the moment where he needed cash, and I was able to help him out because I was dealing with records so much that I just happened to have it. I made out. So I got his entire Rolling Stones collection that he collected from the beginning of their career to like when they kind of like tuned out. He collected all of them. This is the Rolling Stones. This is their first record, and it's by Decca. Tell Me is the only song written by the Rolling Stones on this. Everything else is covers. The Decca era is, like, in my opinion, their best era. Out of Our Heads, the Rolling Stones. This one has more. They started doing a little bit more in this one. I don't have them in order. Out of Our Heads, Rolling Stones, a mono version. There's different songs on it actually, and it's the London recording. Legends of Rock, the Rolling Stones. Don't know. I never actually listened to that one. So this is like a rare bootleg that was collected by this man. There's some really cool stuff. We'll pull them out anyways though. This is a great record. It's like one of their first recordings. This guy got it from like. It's a live record. It's a live bootleg. It's pretty cool. Was this? I don't know. I'm not sure if this was the last Decca record, but I believe it was. Beggar's Banquet, 1969. I believe Let It Bleed was the last Decca record. Yeah, because the Decca records don't have the tongue. The Decca records don't have the tongue. Go Ahead Soup has the tongue on it. That's when they changed labels. Compilation Greatest Hits. This is the sequel to. This is the sequel to Hot Rocks. This is pretty cool, actually. 12 by 5. A lot of this is written by Chuck Berry, too. Jagger. No, just one song. Just one song is written by Chuck Berry. No, this is 67. I was right. This is earlier. Between the Buttons, Decca. Tattoo You. This is a cool record. Probably their last one. This is actually, I like this record, actually. Their career is pretty solid. This is a great record, but I have a little hard time with the mix. Like, the mix is very raw, but it is a great performance. Go Ahead Soup. Yeah, this is their second label. Wait, who did it? This is their own label, right? Go Ahead Soup. This is really cool. I still have the plastic on this with the hologram. There's Satan's Majestic Request. That's a pretty weird title. Damn, this took a long time. Now I feel a little self-conscious because I have talked about the Rolling Stones too much. But that's okay. I'm gonna try to retire talking about the Rolling Stones in my episodes. I will try. I promise I will try. Damn, I don't know what to say. Today I'm a little bit camera shy. Okay, 3 Rolling Stones songs that I would recommend. Like, where's my phone? I have to look up the Rolling Stones songs, but the Beach Boys songs, In My Room, that was my brother's favorite song by the Beach Boys. In My Room is a great song. Don't Worry Baby, obviously. Don't Worry Baby would be on my top 3. And then
We'll be falling in love to the rhythm of a steel drum band down in Kokomo, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take it.
no, not Kokomo. Fun, because they got sued by they got sued by Chuck Berry for that one. Yeah, it's fun. What song did Beach Boys get sued by Chuck Berry for? Surfing USA. I was wrong. It sounds like the same. It sounds exactly the same. Oh, Sweet Little 16. Chuck Berry is like another topic we need to cover one day. Chuck Berry was pretty dope. There was something I was going to talk about. There's other artists that I wanted to bring up. I had them saved on my Spotify playlist. You're Not Good Enough by Blood Orange. That is a really cool song. I love the video. The video is like super interesting. And I like the way it's shot, and I like the way the girls look in it because they look like normal. They don't look like, they look really cool. Like it's a spot on video. Okay, Molly by Eka Vandal. Molly by Eka Vandal. That is a really cool song. I like the way the girl dances in that video. The video is pretty awesome. It's weird, but it's really cool. And that video, check it out. Oh, I listened to Mike D's solo project. I kind of have to stand with my opinion that Beastie Boys are a hip hop act and they're not rappers. They never really had a solo. None of them had a real rap solo career. Am I right? They kind of need each other to bounce off. It's an act. In my opinion, I love the Beastie Boys to death. I love them to death, but I do not consider them rappers, which is why I kind of like them so much, because I'm not really that big of a rap fan. But kudos to Mike D for keeping it going. It's kind of like a rap project. It's like he's trying to rap, but it's not like really rapping. It's kind of like he kind of got stuck because he doesn't have his buddies there. It tries to flow, but it just doesn't flow. Oh, Go Fuck Yourself by Fat Dog.
Go and fuck yourself. I'm gonna trick you all down before I take myself for life.
That is a cool video. This was episode 18. I don't know if I said much or if I maybe kind of messed this one up, but it's episode 18. I messed it up, but I had a lot of fun. Kind of like my 18th year. Okay, peace out, episode 18. Michael Newcomer, mic check. I do need a catchphrase. Ay caramba.
Ay caramba.
Keep in touch. Maybe in episode 19 we'll be a little bit better. Support your local record store. That'd be a good catchphrase. Support your local... I can't say it. Support your local record store. Shout out to JDC Records. Support your local record store. They're really cool down there. All right, let's cut it. Oh, Punk started with the Minutemen right there. Punk started with the Minutemen. Every San Pedro knows that. San Pedroan knows that.
Let's ruin our lives.